There are 6 areas that you need to be aware of that costs are just skyrocketing. And you would think that because the economy is starting to bounce back, at least in the United States, that we would be doing great. But there's a couple of realities here. Number one, we are bouncing back, but we were already in a horrible deficit before the pandemic. So we're talking trillions of dollars in debt. We already had incredible poverty. And so now we have more poverty, and we're expected to have even more. The poverty gap is getting wider and wider. But when I say wider and wider, it means we're having more and more people in poverty, less middle class, and then the wealthy. So we have a small handful of wealthy, the middle class is disappearing, and most of the middle class is edging towards poverty. And most of those people in poverty are children and people of color. And a lot of that is because they are discriminated against. They are oppressed often. And I know that some people don't want to believe that, but that is a reality. So let's go into, though, the 6 areas that you need to think about walking into the rest of this year and probably the next couple of years. And that is, the first area is gas prices. So gas prices are going to affect everyone. They're going to affect Uber. They're going to affect buses. It's just going to be an area that we need to be cognizant of. And this is going to be a big deal because we need to rethink how we spend our money and spend our time and where we're going. Is it worth a job that pays $12 an hour if you have to spend, are you ready for this, 60% more, well, 56% more since last May. So as of today, as of the time that I am recording, gas prices are up 56% more since last May. And I'm recording this in June. So that's huge, okay? So you have to think about that. Are you willing to keep that employment that you are spending that much more in your vehicle? No, but let's go deeper into vehicles. Let's say your vehicle broke down and you need a new vehicle. Well, guess what? Now the cost of used cars are up 30% right now. And the insurance on those cars are up 17%. So that, just take a look at these numbers, okay? 17% more for insurance, 30% more on a used car, almost 60% more on gas. If you want to fly, so even just, usually flights to Miami for a lot of people are fairly inexpensive. It's a very big tourist area in the United States, and they tend to run a lot of deals. But even going to Miami is feeling more like you're going to Europe, and it is 24% more. So, I mean, just factor in driving to the airport, insurance on your car that has already cost you 30% more if you're buying a new car that is used, so you're trying to save money, then you're hopping on a plane that's going to be 24% more. But listen, once you get to your vacation, or even if you're just local and you're just going to a couple of retail stores that are now open, restaurant food is up 4%. Alcohol is up almost 2%. Even cereal and baked goods are up almost 1%. Peanut butter is up as well. So everyone is raising their prices. They have to. Laundry, if you want to get your laundry done, washer and dryers, the machines, are up 26%. So if you want to get in an Uber or any kind of Lyft or anything like that, the pricing is up by 11%. So we have inflation happening, and this is going to be hard for people to do their day-to-day living. So that day-to-day living where you want to, we were in lockdown, we were in social distancing, and now as we become more and more free to interact and do things, a lot of people can't afford it. We can't afford to live the way we did before the pandemic. So, I have some questions on, what do we do from here? What's the takeaway? And the takeaway might be that we have to understand that in general, we're going to be paying about 20%, 25% more across the board for most things. On an average, we have to think about that. So you have to think about when you're working, when you're saving, when you're interacting, when you're going to the grocery store, when you're going to just, window shop, if you happen to buy something, you will be now spending about, on average, 20 to 25% more for your day-to-day living. And you're probably going to be making less money. And you're probably, and that's just generous. That's even if you're working right now. So this is a really tough time for us. So I want you to save as much as possible. I want you to rethink the way that you interact with the outside world. And when I say that, I don't mean pandemic wise. I mean, maybe going for a long car ride used to be something that you did all the time as a way to relax or sightsee or whatever. There's got to be new ways that we do things. We need to adjust to the inflation. So if you have any ideas, any questions, let's have a discussion on this. And if you feel overwhelmed by what I just said, don't worry. I have an online free support group. I send out an email every single week. We have interactions. We have a book group. And I have courses and programs available for you. So go ahead and head to my site, thefinancetherapist.com, and let's connect.